and mapping on the server document. For example, when people hit this default view, you redirect him to the home page, etc., and customize the default page, and also again apply the appropriate access control. SQL injection. So people might ask me, it's a nodes database vulnerable to SQL injection or not? Yes and no. If you never talk to a relational databases, yes, you are not vulnerable at all. But if you ever have a communication with other traditional relational databases, you are just like the normal application. So how to test it? Just the you just use the web browser and scanner, whatever you know. But how to do the source code review? This is the places and you should look into it. So these 7 functions, right, I list here, is the place to call an agent. So again, agent is used to talk to the databases. Here's a small example, code example, how SQL injection happened. So we have a database called survey. We have a phone called survey. We pass the name to this phone, and in the nodes formula language, he will call the agent called view survey, and also he will get the name and save it in the document itself. And in the view survey agent, he will get the name from the document and call the SQL statement. So you see that's not any input validation there, and they don't use a parameterized query, so it's vulnerable to SQL injection. Cross-site scripting. Nodes web application, just like any other application, is vulnerable to cross-site scripting. As long as you directly display the user input to the browser without any input validation and HTML encoding. Again, here it's a simple example. You get the name and URL, and you directly output to the browser. The only one thing is different from other application is because Nodes databases is document center, and if you ingest a malicious JavaScript into a document, if you save there, so the cross-site scripting is a persistent cross-site scripting most of the time. So it's make it more dangerous. The persistent cross-scripting basically, as long as you log into the application, you hit the vulnerable document, the script will execute. Session management. So by default, Nodes application use the basic authentication, which we know it's not a very secure way.
Excuse me. Can you please get closer to the microphone?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Sure. Thanks. So the basic authentication, Nodes application by default use the basic authentication, and we know it's not very secure because the username and password are sent in clear text in the packet of every request. So if you really want to use the basic authentication, you must use the HTTPS. So I would recommend use the session-based authentication, and you can enable that feature in the server document. When you append the login and logout to the databases, it will enforce you to log in, no matter what. And also it can enforce you to log out. So you can also specify the session timeout in the server document. That's one interesting thing I see. I think it's a bad habit which happens for a lot of Nodes developers. They like to pass a lot of sensitive parameter in the query string. They don't like to use the post. They like to use the get. Probably it's because of the Nodes web syntax. You have an action, you can put the parameter after the action. That's why they have that habit. But I don't think it's a good idea because, and first, it's attacker, if got this URL, it's easy to manipulate, and second, those parameters can be logged in any third-party proxy. Then the attacker can do the information gathering and harvest. Information leakage. So this one will be similar to any other application. If you ever call the try to connect to a database, you need a username and password, and the Nodes developer, they like to hard code it because it's easy. Also for the error handling. For the error handling, a lot of time I can see people just display the system error right away to the user.